I got my hands on one of the recently released Moto G5s. The G series is Motorola's less expensive smartphone line, but as we found over the years, price is not an indicator of durability. Pulling it out of the box, the phone felt extremely light, and I feared greatly for the safety of this phone. Shortly afterwards though, I realized that the G5 has a removable battery that needed to be put inside the phone first. This doesn't happen as often anymore. With most manufacturers sealing everything shut these days, this was a welcome change. With the battery actually inside the phone, and the weight of the device restored, let's get started. As always, scratch test first. The hardness level gives a general idea of how scratch resistant the screen is going to be. The majority of smartphones have tempered glass, which means it scratches at a level 6. Some phones, like the Honor 6X, have some kind of weird, weaker hybrid glass. And there are phones with plastic screens and sapphire screens, but this Moto G5 scratches at a level 6, which is where the majority of all flagship phones are at. So we're off to a good start. The fingerprint scanner has a thin rubber coating over the top of the pad. It's not a button, just a touchpad. With normal wear and tear, I think the rubber coating will keep away most cosmetic scratches. But even with the deeper, more harmful gouges, the fingerprint scanner continues to read and function like normal. Another success for Motorola. Not every phone survives this one. The 5-megapixel front-facing camera is protected by that same tempered glass that covers the screen. So no worries about that scratching. My razor blade does no damage. If we move over to the earpiece slot, it has a thin piece of vinyl covering the speaker, but it won't pull out with my tweezers, so I doubt it'll ever fall out on its own like some of the older iPhone 4s used to do. But if it ever gets dirty, you have to be super careful while cleaning it out. Now, Motorola has advertised this G5 as their first G series phone with metal built in. Pictures can be deceiving, and an advertisement is, well, an advertisement. But my razor blade only tells the truth. The razor blade of truth is currently telling us that the bottom section of the removable back panel is made of plastic. The whole area surrounding the micro USB slot is plastic. Up at the top next to the headphone jack, which always gets bonus points for me, is also made of plastic. The only part that appears to be metal is the center back segment of the phone. Now, one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel 5 years ago was because the best and most environmentally friendly way to recycle a cell phone is to just keep it alive and useful as long as possible. And to make a long-lasting phone, manufacturers need to make them durable. The Note 7 was an incredible environmental fiasco. One of the many ways to help the environment is to not throw away useful things, especially broken cell phones. They are usually worth money, and someone somewhere can fix them and keep them circulating. Never throw away a cell phone, always recycle it. Hopefully my channel has helped with that. Long story short, the center back panel is metal. The camera lens is scratch-resistant glass, just like it should be. It doesn't look like Motorola has cut any corners so far, so let's keep going. The sides of the phone are made from plastic. Even the power and volume buttons are made of plastic. So I wouldn't get too excited about this being an all-metal device. The majority of the surface area is plastic. Speaking of heat, my lighter tells us if the screen is AMOLED or LCD. And by the heat killing the pixels temporarily, turning them black, we know it's an LCD. It did last about 15 seconds before reacting though, and that's pretty good. An AMOLED screen, like most Samsung phones have, would turn white and not recover like this LCD screen just did. Now, the ultimate test of structural integrity and durability is the bin test. Pressing from the back of the phone, the screen does protrude quite prominently out of the removable rear panel, but it does not shatter or break. The phone is still functional at this point. When pushing from the screen side, there is less flex to the phone, and this inexpensive device from Motorola does not kick the bucket. The screen did stop functioning for a brief second, but a simple turning it off and back on again fixed that issue. Since the majority of the phone is plastic, no permanent damage was done during the bin test. It is not stuck bent out of shape like the HTC Ultra that costs 4 times as much. The Moto G5 passes my durability test. It might not have the premium feel of a more expensive phone, but it is a device that can physically stand the test of time. And having a removable battery will help extend the life of this phone far into the future, since batteries are usually the first thing in cell phones to die of natural causes. I'll be reviewing this phone from the inside with a repair video in the very near future. So if you love repairability, sustainability, or just seeing technology from the inside, you're in the right spot. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.